Welcome to the Matt Beck Podcast. Woke up this way. He's got a lot of cool stuff he's gonna show you today. The latest news, industry topics, and business tips. For all hairstylists and salon owners, it's time to flip the script. Grab your precision scissors, barber combs, and swivel twist razors. Let's cut a bob, a quick shag, pixie cut with a little bit of flavor. Check out the live classes, product reviews, let's rock on. Don't forget to check out freesaloneducation.com. I woke up this way. It's gonna be a great day. Chop it, clip it,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's class. So, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Oh my God, it's Friday. It's true. What's up, everybody? What's up, Nancy, Jess, Snowden, Sharon? Let me know, guys, right away if the sound sounds okay, if you guys can hear me all right. It's gonna be a little bit different today. My microphone is broken. I don't know why, but it wasn't cheap, that's for sure. So I'm a little stressed about that. But I got a different mic on, so we'll see. It's a totally different setup. You're gonna hear a lot more sounds today, but let me know. Snowden, thank you so much. Cool. Laura, hello. Barbara, good to see you. Glennis, good to see you. Chanel, Belle, Masket. Let's see. What's up, Rhode Island? All right, guys, if you could do me a favor and just share this class with anybody that you can, just hit that share button on whatever social platform you're on. That would be great. That would be very helpful. It's all about growing this show. The more you comment, the more you share, the more people we get in the room, and the better time we have today. I don't have a ton of time today, so this class is gonna be under an hour. We got a staff meeting at 1 o'clock because the salon's opening back up starting on Tuesday. So super exciting things going on. Sharon, thank you so much for sharing. What's up? Very cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, cool. So today, guys, it's Freestyle Friday. I know that usually I ask for requests on Freestyle Friday, but today we're gonna do things a little bit different. I'm just gonna assume what I think you guys wanna learn, which is a little bit of men's cutting. I'm gonna show you guys some basic men's cutting for the salon. So we're gonna go over clipper cutting, and then we're gonna go into how to cut and create texture on top. Just a really basic but clean cut, men's cut. A lot of those guys are gonna wanna be cleaned up now that we're getting back in the salon. So, very cool. Jess, can we come salon tour? One of these days, when we get everything open back up, I know I can take my phone and go on Skype. We might go do a live kind of check out the salon area. I'll show you guys all that. We will do that sometime. Thank you, Chanel, appreciate that. Yeah, we're really excited. Let's see. Hola. Thank you, Glennis, appreciate that. All right, cool, guys, let's get started with today's class. So today, like I said, we're gonna be working on men's cutting. We're just gonna have a good time. I wanna share with you guys some basics. We've got our male head over here, so you can see it. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna start going through just some of my basic sectioning that I do when I cut men's hair. And then also, you guys know I'm a hairdresser, but I have a pretty, I would say 80% male clientele. I really enjoy cutting men's hair. So I'm gonna share with you guys basically a cut that I would do on my male clients. I don't do a lot of tight fades. I do a lot of pretty standard, nice fade haircuts, so but not tight to the head. So I want to go through some of the techniques that I use for that. So first things first, the difference between the sectioning that I'm going to do on a men's cut and the sectioning that I would do on a women's cut is a little bit different. So when we look at the parietal ridge, we look at how we want to create the shape on the top of the guy's head. Now for me, I don't want to create a lot of heaviness around this corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to section a little bit lower on the guy's head, and I'm gonna build up my fade or my line to that point, just below parietal ridge, and then everything on top I'm gonna control in my fingers so I get the result that I'm looking for. So that's gonna be the first thing that we do. We're gonna take our section, I'm gonna comb everything back, almost in a horseshoe section. You guys know by now, if you've been watching this show for a while, actually there's one thing that I want you guys to do. If you've been watching the show for a long time, I want you to write OG in the chat. Love seeing who's been following for 46 episodes now. We've done it 46 days in a row. Also, we do this class live every day, Monday through Friday. That time is going to change, I believe, next week. I'm going to go earlier, but I'll be announcing that. So 2 things from you guys. If you're an OG, type OG. Sharon, thank you. Tiffany as well. If you've been, if you're new to the class, if this is the first time you've ever watched it, then I want you to type new as well. If you're more than 2 or 3 episodes in, we'll consider you an OG. You can type that in the chat for sure. So, because we got to have a place for everybody, right? So super fun. Oh wait, that's not it. Let's see. So I want to get some music going too. All right. Totally shared my Instagram story. Awesome, Jess. It's super cool. So if you guys have watched this show before, you guys know what to do. All you have to do is type Q and then put your question. If you have a question during the class, that way I can scan through and see your question. I also would love to know where you're watching from, so type that in the chat as well, because some of you guys hide in the chat and you don't say anything. And the only way we grow this stream is if you write in the comments. So make sure that you get involved. Type new, type OG, type where you're from. Let's keep the chat going. Ask questions and have a good time with me, all right? Let's go. All right, so back to the cut. Okay. Now, the other thing is if you want to be alerted that I'm doing a class live, make sure you text me. Let me put up my phone number here. 215-608-2612. That'll give me, just say hi. That'll go right to my phone and I can add you to my list. And I send out a text message every time we go live so that you guys know and I can move forward that way. So just let me know on that. All right, here we go. So sectioning, working around the head shape. Now you guys have been watching this for a while. You guys know I like to get the hair flowing in the direction I'm going to take my section. And then as soon as I get it where I want it, then I take my section right like this around the head shape. That gives me a nice, clean, even parting all the way through. And I'm just going to continue all the way around the head, sectioning that off. Now, if I was working in the salon, I probably would not use clips on my guys just because I'm trying to save time and work faster. Today, I'm going to use a clip to keep things separated for you guys, just because I want to keep it clean so you guys can understand what I'm doing. But in the salon, I'd probably just work one side and then go back to the other. I'd comb the hair over to one side, cut the one side, and then comb the hair over to the other side. If that makes sense. Apparently I say if that makes sense a lot too. So maybe you can make it a drinking game or a drinking water game if you're dehydrated. Okay, so then I check for balance there. You spin him around. So you can see it's a little bit lower on this side. So I'm just gonna come over here, make sure that I keep everything nice and even. Sectioning is the most important thing because if you don't start off with even sections, obviously your haircut is gonna be a little off. So even horseshoe shape section or U-shaped section, whatever works best for you if you don't know anything about horses. There you go. All right, so I'll twist that up and I'm gonna clip it away. So I also wanna share with you guys a little bit of an angle overhead so you guys can see that section, just like that. Oh, always forget how this camera works. So you can see it's a U shape from this point all the way around mid-crown area here and then back to the front. All right. Let's see. I love seeing everybody in here asking questions to each other, which is really cool. That's what this is all about. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow dry the rest of this hair that's all down. So this part is going to be in the wet cut and this part's going to be my clipper. So what I want to do is I want to blow dry real quick the hair. This is going to be super loud. So I'm going to pump up the music. Let's start the dance party a little earlier today. And I'm going to blow dry this hair. right, so now I got that all blown dry. And the reason I blow dry the hair is because I want it to fall nice and smooth. I also want to work out any weird cowlicks that happen. Even though in the consultation I'll be aware of those cowlicks, I still want to get rid of them before I start doing my clipper cutting, just because I want the hair nice and smooth, even all around. Now, a couple combs that I'm using. This is the YS Park something. I forget exactly the name of it. It says it on here. I do this every time. Those of you guys that watch this show, you know that. You know that. Anyways, this is available on our shop, shopfse.com. All these combs, every comb I use, every clip I use, every scissor I use, they're all available on the shop. So if you're looking for a scissor, go check it out on our online store. Obviously, these classes are for free. If you need tools, just go check it out. See what you think. All right, so I've got this. If I'm gonna do clipper over comb, I would use this YS Park barbering comb. If I was going to, but I'm not gonna do clipper over comb, so I'm gonna grab something a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna use this guy here. And I've got my Babyless or Babyless, whatever you guys say. I'm not sure how you pronounce the name of this company, but I've got this Babyless clipper. It's gold, it's cool. I got it at the last hair show that I was working. So what I'm gonna do is I've got guards that are gonna go along with it. Sometimes I do clipper over comb, sometimes I do clipper guards. Basically the way that I wanna work this haircut first is I'm gonna get everything, whatever I want this length to be here, is how I'm gonna work through the haircut first. That's my personal opinion. I like getting the hair pretty much, and I'm not even gonna worry about the bottom so much. I'm just gonna work this parietal ridge area, and then I'm gonna work my way down so that I can get the hair the length that I want. So I'm gonna start off with a 3 guard because we're not gonna go too short with this haircut. So the 3 guard is gonna start working basically straight up the head shape. Now, what I use for a guideline is I work straight up the hairline. So if the hairline kind of works from here to here in a diagonal forward fashion, I'm gonna follow with the clipper that way, and then I'm gonna work how the hairline moves around. So the hairline wraps like this, like that. So that's how I'm gonna work the clipper, up this way, and then kind of pivot my wrist through the haircut so that I create a weight line that travels from here to the back this way in kind of an arc fashion. So the most of the weight is back here and then up on the top of that parietal ridge area. Okay, so we're gonna start working. Now, when I work the clipper through, here's what I want you guys to kind of see, is I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna work up and out. Okay, so in, up and out. And now I might not go all the way in right away, so I kind of see what length I'm going for. And then I work my way in, up, and out. So flicking my wrist up to create that weight line up on the top of the head. And I'm not worried about this being the perfect length right now because I'm gonna go back in and cut it with my scissors, probably do a little scissor over comb around the top there. So I'm not too worried about it at this point. I just wanna make sure that that weight line that I do want is building in. Turn it like this so you guys can see a little better. So again, go through. I'm not worried about this hair because I'm gonna cut that later with a shorter guard, so why would I go in and cut it with the 3 guard at this point? And I want that weight line to start transferring into the back. So same thing, so that weight transferring through and into the back. Is Matt doing a fade? Lynn, what's up? Good to see you. I'm not doing a short fade. So this is more of a salon friendly kind of men's cut here. This is what I would do in the salon with a lot of my male clientele. Most of them do not get tight fades. So I'm just sharing with you guys that. And we're gonna create some texture in the top. So one of the things that I think, even if you're a barber watching this, you're probably not, I'm not impressing you with my fading skills, then hopefully I can impress you with my knowledge when I go into the top and we start doing some scissor work through that. So same thing in the back here, just working my way around the head. I drop it a little bit lower into that occipital bone area, and then I come back up, creating that arc on the opposite side. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Let's see, which clipper is better, Wall or what's that question? Adele or Babyless, Wall or Babyless? So everybody has their own preference, guys. I wouldn't say they all cut hair. I use Babyless and Andis because for me, I like the Andis clippers because I feel like you're supporting a little bit more. Wall's kind of a, for me, like you go into any supermarket or anything, they're promoting a lot of at-home haircutting kits. And you hope not to see brands doing that, but you know, so I try to buy whatever clipper is not doing that. So I guess you can kind of find any brand in the store at this point though. Ouch. All right, let's see. Susan, good to see you. Everybody tuning in. Thank you, Glennis, appreciate it. All right, so we're working our way around the head. Now, it's just a flick of the wrist, guys. So as I work, remember, I'm working that hairline up. So I go up with the clipper and I flip my wrist out just to see that weight line. I wanna see that graduation that's happening in the haircut. I'm not gonna leave it at this length, but I wanna see that weight line happening throughout the cut. So then when I go in to create my shape later, I can kind of follow that as a guide. You never really wanna hack off the back. I mean, I guess depending on the style you're looking for, but. So just keep building up that weight line, working my way through into the back area. Check the balance in the front. Just wanna make sure that where I'm bringing up that weight line, where it's coming up on each side, is balanced through it. Same thing in the back. So I'm gonna leave that weight there. Now I'm gonna go into a 2 guard. So I was on a 3 guard. Now we're going 2 guard here. I'm gonna open it up. It's not gonna be that different. And I'm actually gonna work all this hair off at this point. Just come through it, flick the wrist, right around where that fade starts. Should totally leave these sideburns on here, pretty cool. I'll work my way around the ear. Obviously, so if I was working in the salon and my guest didn't have rubber ears, then I would pull the ear down and I would just work my way around the ear and the clipper back and forth, just kind of at an angle, working that line in there. Just like that. Oh, camera shut off. Coming back. All right, so same thing on this side. Take off this crazy hair here. Work my way around the ear. I would bend the ear down and I would work my way around it this way and then back up the opposite direction. And then up the sides. He's looking better already. So really what we're doing is we're just trying to blend in, obviously the 3 guard into the 2 guard, and then I'm gonna go into a half guard at the bottom, so that's as low as I'm gonna get in this haircut. And I'm gonna work another line real quick. For me, I just wanna take this a little bit shorter is really the reasoning for it. So I wanna go a little bit shorter in here and around the ear. just around the edges really. And then into the back. And then we will blend this either with scissor over comb, because at this length you can do that, or we'll do it with a clipper guard. But so I'm just working in that nape area. So you can see that line, you can definitely see it on the camera, that line that's happening around. That's because I'm going from a 2 guard to a half guard. So I'm putting a line in there and then I'm just gonna erase it. This is really, for me, a cut like when your guests are coming back from quarantine and they have a lot of hair and you gotta take them down and get them back to a basic kind of shorter men's cut. Being able to use some of these techniques like going from that 3 guard, just get the hair out of there, and then you're kind of working at more of a clean palette. With your guys, that's for me like kind of what this is all about. Is just taking them from super long to get them back short again, and cleaned up. So you can see that weight line through there. So I'm working that clipper at an angle around the ear as well. Again, I would move that ear out of the way. So like that. There we go, getting there. Okay, and I'll answer some questions in a second. So if you have a question, type Q, put your question, and then that way I can see it when I go back through. All right, so now we're just gonna blend. I'm gonna go 1.5, we'll see what that does to blend the line. And if we need to, we'll go in with something with a clipper over comb to finalize the blend. So just working on that line, flicking my wrist at the line, at the weight. That flick of the wrist starts to graduate the line, so it just takes the line up a little bit and starts to blend it. So same thing back here. I think that's really the key with being able to blend these haircuts, is flicking the wrist up instead of carving into the hair this way. Just make sure that you go up, flick through. There we go. Looking nice. Just like that. Yeah, that's true. Somebody said, the good thing about a mannequin is you don't have to worry about the ear line because it's already there, but I will still go in with my trimmer. But yeah, you don't have to worry about cutting them white walls in there. All right, so that's the start of the fade there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my YS Park comb. I'm gonna go take the guard off of my clipper, and I'm just gonna work this all the way closed around, just to dust off any ends. I like to do clipper over comb quite a bit to finalize my men's cuts. So it's just putting the clipper in, seeing if there's any hair that looks unbalanced. So I slide the clipper up, or the comb up. You can see those, actually that comes through pretty well. You can see those little hairs that come through, and I just, again, angle it back a little bit, and then any of those little hairs that poke through it, I just dust them off. And that'll give me an even more even line of weight. So same thing on this side, come through with the comb, see a little bit of hair sticking through, and cut. So same thing here. There we go. All right. A little more over here. Try to stay out of your guys' way. Cool. The great thing about a mannequin is you don't have to worry about the ears, but the bad thing about a mannequin is the hairs go straight out from the head. So sometimes it's a little more difficult to get a good fade in there. All right, we're working our way up. So you can see how the sides kind of come through. They look pretty balanced through there. I'm gonna go a little bit more on this side here. And now I'm gonna work this weight line just a little bit shorter. So you can see how I start taking it up a little bit with that clipper over comb technique. Boom. I'm gonna do the same thing through the back. So now it just starts to connect everything through it. So I'm working my way around the round of the head, but I'm being aware that I want to build up weight here. I want weight in this crown area. So even though I'm working this clipper around, you'll notice how I lift it out away from the head shape during the cut. And you don't want to hack off this hair because this is kind of the silhouette that expands this out and makes it make sense. He's got a nice jawline. You want to have this weight shooting out from the back of the head. All right, so now we're going to work off of the face this way. Same thing, just working back off the head, cutting our weight. It's looking good. So notice a couple things. When I talk about women's cutting, most of the time I'm always cutting the hair in the same direction both ways. So I cut it this way, and I cut down. I work my way here, and I cut down. Same thing with this clippering. I like to not work the hair all the way around in one direction. I like to make sure that if I came back off the face on one side, like if I'm cutting this way off the face, then when I'm on this side of the head, I'm still cutting back off the face this way as well. For me, it's just consistency, just making sure that everything I do it the same on both sides to get the same result on both sides, or at least similar result in the end. So there we go. Okay. All right, so now I've pretty much got the weight where I want it, and now I'm gonna go in with my trimmer. This is the Andis T trimmer, one of my favorites. So I'll turn that on, and I'm just gonna work around the ears. Obviously, I want a clean result. I would pull this ear down, work my way around it. Can't pull the ear down, doesn't wanna go, but that's okay. So work my way back around the ear that way. For me, the key, so a lot of guys don't want to see too much skin around the ear. Some guys want it brought up a little bit more because they want it to grow out. Most people don't want to see that skin there. So what I do is I grab his ear here and I kind of pull it down. When you pull down on the earlobe, it'll pull the whole ear down, and then I can work to where the hair, when I release the ear, it comes back up to where the hair is, or I'll fold it down this way and work around it that way. Both ways work pretty well. So just kind of find your preference. I'm gonna work my way up this way. And before I cut the top is when I'm gonna get to the questions. So if you guys have questions, post them, and I will go in and answer. So same thing over here. This isn't really, so I pull the earlobe down and then work my way around the ear to not expose too much of that skin around the ear. Call those white walls. Don't want the white walls. You young people in the chat, if you don't know what a white wall is, it was a tire. It was a tire that had a white trim around it. that I put on my 1984 Monte Carlo. All right, so how we doing here? Let's see where we're at. Let me see if I have any questions so far. Good to see everybody. Let's see any cues. All right. If a girl wants a boy cut, how can you cut it to perfection? So I think it's Gladys. It depends on what perfection is for the person, right? So maybe a girl wants this exact cut. So that would be perfection for her. So I think it just depends on what people want, and then you have to execute. So that's kind of a hard question to answer, but hopefully that helps you enough. Do you cross-check with clippers too, Matt? Yes, so we're basically cross-checking. I'll just grab my trimmer, but as I'm working through here, Tessa, like I lift the hair up and I cut it, but then a lot of times I'll come back this way and I'll just work through the hair just in a different angle and cross-check it. So I'll work my way back this way, but the key thing is that when I lift out here, I lift back. So let me go to this. So when I lift here, I put the comb in and I lift the comb out and back. So when I go here to cross-check, you don't want to go flat to the head at this point and then cut off that weight line, because that's the weight line that you want. So you have to come in, cross-check, and make your angle the same as the angle is when you're here. So just make sure that you pull it across or away from the head here, closer to the head at the end of the comb, and then you can cross-check through it. I think that's a great idea because that helps make sure that you have even, clean lines throughout the cut. All right, cool, great question. Let's see, what else we got? Thank you so much, appreciate that. Q. So Wahida, good question. Open is when the lever is down and close is when the lever is up. Yeah, so open, let me see if I can show you this. Yeah, so open is when, so you see how that blade comes longer? It goes out longer and then it comes in. So that's closed and this is open. Closed, open. So basically it's saying that the guard, this guard here that makes everything a little bit longer, is closed, so you don't have any guard, and when you open it up, you're opening it up and exposing it. That's kind of how I look at it. Hope that helps. That white comb is the 282. Thank you, Jess, I appreciate it. 282 comb. I have to remember that. I don't know why I can't. 282. And if you want to get it, go to shopfse.com. That's the best. So these classes are totally free, obviously, but if you need tools, go to shopfse. And if you don't need tools, then you just have to share the class, please. Appreciate it. How is the sound, by the way? Is it okay? Are you guys digging it? Is it fine? Do I have to go buy another microphone? Let me know. Whose heartbeat tattoo? Oh, okay. So Snowden, just to fill you guys in, a lot of you guys asked this question. This is actually a voicemail from my dad, who passed away a couple years ago. So it's not a heartbeat, it's an audio file of him talking. All right, let's see. Why don't you use the Keon Washington 1-2-3 technique? Well, that's Keon's thing. I don't know it. So I did see him do it last week, but I'm not somebody that can teach that at this point. So Mary, I'm just teaching you what I can do, what I do. Let's see. Anything else? How big? I'm not sure what that question is. All right. What's the life of a clipper? So Glennis, I mean, these clippers last quite a while for me. I use I don't know if you're talking about battery life or life in general. So I've had a couple of these clippers for a long time. But from a battery standpoint, I haven't charged them. Well, I haven't been doing haircuts, but I'll charge them like, I do probably like, let's say 6 men's cuts a day, right? When I'm doing cutting, and it lasts through that. But you know, I don't know how many days in a row it does. So to be completely honest with you guys, I cut hair 1 day a week. So I'll charge my clippers and then I cut that hair. I take clients 1 day a week. I cut hair every day, but so that's kind of the facts there. All right. Okay, let's see. All right, I think I got everybody's question. If I didn't get it, if I didn't answer your question, just repost it. I'm gonna keep going through it, all right? Cool. Thank you, Manny, I appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right, cool. Let's see. What's the 1, 2, 3 technique? You got to check out the Keon Washington, Keon the Barber class that we had last week. It's on our YouTube channel. It's on our app. Awesome. Probably one of the best barbering classes we've ever had on this channel for sure. It was really awesome. All right, guys, cool. So let's continue through. So now we're going to cut the top. So what I want to do is just kind of shift things around here. You can see the weight, nice clean feel to the cut. Obviously this could be a cool cut all in itself. That's pretty much the haircut that I have all the time. But now we're gonna go through and we're gonna cut the rest. So let me back out the camera a little bit. Focus here. Okay. All right, so now let me spray it down and here we go. You guys are cool. Thanks. Thanks for being awesome, being on here Friday. Oh, geez. So the cut, or the top part that we're gonna cut here, I'm just gonna share with you guys kind of a basic men's cutting strategy to cutting the top and blending it through. And then I'm gonna blow it dry, and then I'm gonna show you guys some fun texturizing techniques to end the class, which should be super fun. So couple things. I'm gonna use the Mizutani Blacksmith Fit Scissor. This is the gold edition. It takes a long time to get it. You gotta get it custom done. But if you want a really, I'm gonna say affordable, it's about 600 bucks, I believe, on our shop. We do have payment plans, so if you guys are looking for a scissor and you don't have 600 bucks, you just put half down and then you pay the rest over time. But the Blacksmith Fit Scissor, this is a 6.5 inch. I love it for men's cutting and barbering at a 6.5 inch because it's great for scissor over comb work, but then it's also great for just cutting lines on the hair. So it's a great all around scissor for barbering and men's cutting. Let me drop this down here. I don't know what that means, Jess, but that's not, it doesn't sound nice, that's for sure. I'm a late person, I'm sorry. You know how like those really like successful people are always like, I wake up at 4 a.m. and I do whatever. I don't know, and like, I'm not that person. I wake up not super late, but I just try to do as many things as I can. And I do too many things. I make too many commitments of things I need to do. But today I wasn't late on purpose. I just had a broken microphone. I was ready to go. It's always something. So I try to tell everybody that does this streaming thing is, streaming's super fun, but it's very stressful because something always goes wrong and you gotta figure out. It's kind of like when you do a haircut and then like, something starts to go wrong and you start sweating, but you always know how to fix it, and that's what makes you a pro. All right, so I'm gonna split the crown of the head into 4 sections. I'm actually gonna go to the top camera for this. Let me see if I can, yeah, there we go, that's good. So we're gonna do that, and then split it here. Let me grab a different comb so you guys hopefully can see. See that? Can I zoom in a little bit more for you? Coming in. There we go. This should be cool. I love when these angles look so good. All right. So 4 sections. So I got the front and the back split here. And then I have, so 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm gonna take it and I wanna blend. So I wanna kind of pop this hair in the calic area. So this is where all the calics happen. So I really wanna see where they want to go. And then that's how I'm gonna cut it. I don't wanna force it over direct it in weird spots, because if I do that, then I don't create the natural lie that it wants to do, which is gonna make it even harder when we go to style. So it's not that the cut can correct a calic, but how you cut it can make it easier when they go to style it. So right here, I'll then take the hair into my hand and I'm just gonna with light tension, cut short to long, straight up, parallel to the wall. So I'll have a little bit of length into the hair. And then I move on to the next kind of pie-shaped section over, just like that. And I bring this up to me, and I'm gonna cut parallel to the wall again, straight out from where that section lives. So just like that, right? You guys are also gonna learn my other secret, which is I never charge my watch. I always forget. So basically I wear a watch that's dead all the time. Oh, but it's like a safety blanket. What are you gonna do? All right. So there we go. So that's cut there. Now I'm gonna show you guys, yeah, see, you're already commenting. Yep. All right, so now I'm gonna show you guys this section from the side angle here. We're gonna go just like this. Actually, let me zoom in this way. There we go, pal. Comb, focus trick. There it is. All right. So I'm gonna comb straight down, bringing it into my hands. Now my guide isn't coming from the side, it's coming from the bottom here. And I just go in and I cut parallel to the wall, like that. Take another piece next to that, coming straight out to me, and then cutting parallel to the wall, like that. There we go. And one more. Hate when the music stops. It just stops the vibe. I feel alone. There we go. Just like that. Okay? So now that I have the crown area cut, now I can go in and I can look at the balance of the weight in that. And what I want to do is just kind of come up here, and I'll use this blacksmith fit scissor, the long 6.5 inch blade, and I will just blend some of this line right where the two, the guide and the length meet, just to soften it a little bit, make sure everything looks good. So cutting there. Now, key to scissor over comb work is to make sure that you're only moving the one blade. So you only want to be moving your thumb. So just make sure, key thing for this is just get the scissor. So it has a tang, so you've got your pinky on the tang. Then you have your ring finger. Then you have your middle finger pushing down, and then you have your pointer finger pushing down. So you create a nice bridge effect here. So now it's nice and solid. All I have to do is shift this back just a little bit into my hand, and then I add my thumb, and I can just move my thumb. Now that's the motion that you want to practice, because then you can keep your blade, your steady blade, at the bone of the comb. And as I work up and put the hair into the comb, I've just got that one blade moving down. I slide the comb through, I stay consistent through it, and I get a good result. That's what we're going for through it. Okay. So that's cutting the back calic area. Now what I want to do is I'm going to share with you guys how we cut the top. So we'll go to this camera again. So what I'm going to do, I've got my section still, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now 1 and 2 are done. Now 3 and 4 we're going to work through. So I'm going to work straight across, cutting the length that I want on the top, and then I'm going to blend it down, if that makes sense. Okay, so here we go, across, like that. elevate it up here. Now we're cutting parallel to the floor. So before we were cutting parallel to the wall, now we're gonna cut parallel to the floor all the way across. So I take a new section, bring that back to the old section, like that. Bring it across and cut. Here we go. Cross and cut. So now each time I bring that hair back and over direct it back, it's getting a little bit longer towards the front. I don't want it to get too long, so watch your over direction if you're not looking for a longer end result. Another little tip, I don't know why that's giving me a hard time there. There we go. Another fun tip is if they have fine hair, I don't like to point cut too much. If they have super thick hair, I would start point cutting this right away. And what I'm saying, guys, here is like this much over direction back would actually give me, so that's where the line is, that's where my parting is. If I over direct it back here, I'm actually gonna get way too much length because the head starts to curve forward at this point. And because the head's curving forward, it's coming back even further to cut. So I wanna make sure that I stay right on top of where that parting is as I cut through this section so I don't end up with too long of a bang in the front when I didn't want that. Now, if you want that, that's different. If you're Tom DeLonge, 2001, you might have that long bang. But if you're not, you don't want that. There we go. So a couple more sections here. Just pulling it straight up in the air, cutting through. Go. Last bit. So this last section, I will come just straight up in the air. That will have a slight bit of over direction because of the head shape, but other than that, that's super good. Okay, now do the same thing on the opposite side. Here, up, take a guide from my other side and cut straight across parallel to the floor. Yes, that's my second knuckle. It doesn't matter though because I'm gonna cut this again, all of this. I'm only worried about this part right now. Through, grab a little bit more. I can see you guys blowing up in the chat. I can't see what you're saying yet. Too far away, but I will look. Hopefully you're all liking what you're seeing here. Again, not over directing it, working across. I do have to be honest, I hope the sound is good because not wearing a headset mic is way better than wearing a headset mic. So definitely feeling more comfortable. Okay. So now, oh, that one got away. Do a little point cutting on there. Okay, so now we've got nice short hair through the top. So what I'm going to show you guys is from this front view, you can see how it's short, textured already, just because of how we're moving it around. But there's some long disconnections on the sides. So all I want to do now to fix that is to go through with a little bit of scissor over comb and connect it. Or you could just connect it in your hand if you wanted to as well. But I'll take some of this hair, high parietal ridge, move it over and just comb the hair down like that. And then I'm just gonna work scissor over comb, straight up in the air and blend the sides together. So just like that. So there we go. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. Comb it over, comb it down, and then bring my comb up in, pick up the hair, and scissor over comb to blend. like that. So now all we've got left to really deal with is creating texture and cutting into that fringe area a little bit. And then our guy is back to normal, out of COVID, quarantine, and looking good to hang out with the other plastic ladies in the room. All right, or men. There's other men too. Let's see, here we go. Who cuts your hair? So, a lot of times I cut my own hair, but I cut my own hair, and that's why it's a little crazy most of the time, because I just go through and I cut it, and I should let somebody do it, and usually somebody will fix it if I really mess it up, but I've been in quarantine as well, so no one's there to fix it. So, all right, so now I'm gonna go in. I got the Donald Scott carving comb. The carving comb is available on Shop FSE, which is our shop. This is a $39 razor. The thing I love about this razor is that it has a 100% cutting side and a 50% cutting side and a comb. There's two different versions of it. There's three really. Wide tooth version and a fine tooth version, and then there's a twist version, which I don't have in front of me for some reason, but that one doesn't have a comb on it. It's just the razor part, so you can use it with any comb you want. So now, the reason I like this is because I'm gonna take my Blacksmith Fit scissor, and I'm gonna have the carving comb with me. Let's do wide tooth today. So I've got both tools with me, and I'm gonna share with you guys a really fun technique with both. So let's see. Lynn is saying, Matt, you gotta show Christina how to cut and fix your hair. Guys, Christina went to hair school for a little while, but she was called Crooked Chris. She colors hair really well, but cutting's not her forte, but we do have some fun with it sometimes. All right, here we go. Ready? So, spray this down a little bit. So we got the carving comb in here. I'm gonna go across the head just like this. Actually, I'm gonna show a top view because I feel like this is gonna be a lot easier for you guys. All right, so I go across the head like this. This is his nose, obviously. I lift it up in the air like that. And now I'm just gonna take the carving comb back and forth, create some texture. Oh geez, it's my first time. I'm just kidding. So create some texture in there across the head like that. Work, jeez. So because it cuts on both sides, I just work and create texture, pop texture in the front there. And this is what's cool about the carving comb is you can use it. I have scissors in my hand and I have a razor, two different types of razors, and my comb. So it allows me to have multiple tools at once to use in the hair. So just like that. Oh, work my way back and forth, create some texture. You could also point cut into the hair, but I feel like this just gives it even more of a rougher kind of feel, a little more texture to it. So just like that. Now, there's two different techniques that you can do in the top of the head. One is called channel cutting. This one's really fun because you can take the hair, comb it all forward, and you take your scissor, just like this, and you slide it across the head, and you're literally cutting, but you're half closing the blade through the haircut. Now, if they have thick hair, this is a good idea. If they have thin hair, maybe not. If they have thin hair, just do maybe a little bit of the point cutting with the carving comb or point cutting with the scissor. But if they have thick hair, this is a great technique for creating that movement in the hair and texture. Sliding through, just like that, a little channel cut. Another thing that you can do is you've got the 50% carved side on the carving comb. So I can take that and I can literally just kind of glide it in the hair and cut 50% of the hair. Now I don't go all the way to the scalp. I don't push a lot of pressure. I just kind of slide it over and it takes out plenty of hair through it. Okay, so the last little bit, let me switch to this camera here. Last little bit, I want to cut into the fringe area. So just like this, I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna kind of glide through it and just take some of that weight and length out of that fringe area. So just a little pinch cut. This is why combining scissors and razors for me is like, just makes sense, because scissors do one thing, razors do another. So being able to kind of hand draw in texture points that you want, or to take out little bits of length in different places, works really well. Pop some texture in here. Just a cool tool. It's a cool tool. All right, I gotta end this. The staff's starting to get here, team's getting here. All right, so blow dry it. Now with the blow dry, I'm just really trying to pop it up. So what I teach a lot of my guys in the salon is to make sure that you use the heat from the blow dryer. A lot of them don't even blow dry their hair, but I teach them to, because you use this to smooth out the cowlick in the back, use that heat to push it down, and then use the heat to then get the hair to stand up in the front a little bit. So work that texture. Now, male products and products in general, they're meant to break down in water so that they wash out easily. So teaching a guy to not put product in his wet hair, unless it's like a gel to help him blow dry, but not to just put product in wet hair and leave. You wanna get the hair where you want it to be. I'm gonna make this a little cleaner cut version today. We always make messy haircuts. Today I wanna make this have a little nicer end result. So with the comb a little bit, we'll get it going off to the side a little bit. I'm gonna use the heat from the blow dryer to pop up the front so you can see, like without even product, it starts to stick up. Now the product is just there to finish the end result and make it look nice. So we're popping that volume in there. There we go. Just like that. All right, so now we're gonna end this thing with some good vibes, some happy vibes. It's a great Friday, right? See you, Lynn. Thanks for joining us. I'm using Mitch Clean Cut, which is a great product for men's hair. It's got a little bit of shine to it, but it's a pretty good amount of hold. They say medium hold, but I like it. It's got pretty good firm hold to it. So we're gonna come up with it. See that shine that pops in there? We'll use the product to then, the hair we've already blown dry. So the hair is kind of doing what we wanted it to do anyways. So now I'm just adding in the texture. You see it popping through. This is what I like it's nice and clean on the sides. It's not too like skin tight. You know, some people like that, some people don't. So for me, the clients that I attract, the clients I have, they don't usually want a tight skin fade. So this is just a nice clean cut. All right, let's see here. Spin it. You guys can see. What do you think? Styling. We'll move them over here. Pop here, talk to you guys for a sec. So, what do you guys think? Adele, thanks so much. Wow, what a difference. I know, I can make this guy look good. Hey, Ben, what's up? Good to see you, pal. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Sweet. Awesome. No worries, no worries. Thanks, Kristen. So if you guys are just joining in the class, or if you got here late, obviously, Kristen, I know you got here late. It's cool. Thank you guys so much for popping in here and joining. We can't make the class every day, you know what I mean? But It's awesome. Hopefully you guys are all busy in the salon. But we'll be back next week, Monday, with more classes, more fun, starting Monday for sure. And that's about it. I think it's gonna be at a different time, so I'll let you guys know. I'm thinking 10 a.m. in the morning might be it, but we'll see. So stay on the alert. Make sure that you send me a text. Text me 215-608-2612, 215-608-2612. That will just say hi. Just text me, say hi, and that'll give me your contact information so I can send you guys a text when we go live. Otherwise, hit the notification button on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're at so you get the notification when I go live, because Facebook and YouTube don't like to tell you guys when I'm live. So let's conquer that ourselves. All right. And Jess, I figured you would like that for sure. All right, guys, cool. Good vibes. Make sure that you download the FSE Now app. I know you guys, the OGs in the chat, are ready for this, the commercial. But hey, FSE Now is our community. We have tons, thousands of stylists on there. Let me see. FSE Now, go download it. It's our app. It's got all the classes, everything that we do. You can see past classes, everything on there, free content from Sam Villa, myself. We're getting other artists on there as well. Cutting videos, coloring videos, styling videos, everything. And also, the best part about it is that we have our own community of stylists sharing their work on there. You build a profile, you put together, you post your work. All of us can like it, comment on it. You can ask questions to the community. It's just a really fun way for us to become a tighter community together. So go check it out. I'm actually gonna play for you guys the little promo and then we're gonna say goodbye. So check it out, let me know what you think. Here it is, I'll be right back. Here we go. Thank you guys so much for having a great week with me. I can't speak. Have an awesome weekend. I can't wait to be back with you guys on Monday. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. What do we say at the end of the show? It's gonna be a great day. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon.
It's gonna be a great day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it. I woke up this way. It's gonna be a great day. Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it. Let me show you the way. It's gonna be a great day. Chop it, clip it, spray it, flip it. I woke up this way. It's gonna be a great day.